Good afternoon, everyone. Now, welcome to a video game concert. Great to see you guys again. Hope you guys had a good lunch because we're about to take a long journey through many video games that you may find familiar. Does anybody know that music by any chance? Yes? Ni no Kuni? You know about that game? Great. So as we talked about in the beginning, this is all going to be about the music. If you don't know the video game we're playing, even better. Listen to the music. What could it be about? What could that music fit? Could it be about some sort of adventure, some sort of a character? Think about that and really dwell on where the music takes you, because that's what really matters. The extra stuff is what the visual arts is, and that's the cherry on top, if you will. The music itself is enough, and that's amazing music. So I'm glad that some of you know that piece. And we're going to be going through a lot of works. But you know what? I could talk all afternoon. Let's let the music show you what Sephiroth is all about. So this is the music for One Winged Angel. This is Sephiroth's theme. So One Winged Angel, Final Fantasy VII. So after, of course, Final Fantasy VII, that was a huge hit. There was no video games like that back then. There had never been. By the way, these are all RPGs, obviously. That was basically the first RPG. Well, no, that wasn't the first RPG. But it was the first RPG of that magnitude, okay? Everybody know what an RPG is, right? Role-playing game for the people my age that are not too sure. It's role-playing game, and basically you make your own decisions in the game. And it was the first time where the storyline could actually change according to your personal decisions. That's awesome. Anyway, 2 years later, I believe 1999, correct me if I'm wrong, either 99 or 98, Final Fantasy VIII came out. And of course, from the success of the previous Final Fantasy, and in particular the success of its music, they kept along the same line of orchestral, heavy choral music, and it's just phenomenal as well. So we're going to be playing now two different works. The first is called The Waltz for the Moon, and then we're going to be following that by Liberi Fatali, all from Final Fantasy VIII. So enjoy. right. How many of you recognize some of that music, maybe? Yes? Is it popular? Do you guys still listen to them, even though these are old video games? Yeah? So, I always ask this to my students because, like I said, I haven't been playing lately, so I like to know what is really meaningful to them today. Because at the end of the day, like we said in the very beginning, that little opening talk that we had, what's beautiful about this music is not so much the pressing the buttons or even the characters. It's that it's meaningful to you, that it stirs up emotions in you, and above all, it stimulates creativity in you, right? Because creativity is what we want out of this. And maybe someday you might be inspired to compose your own piece about some fictional character, about anything, about something you even don't really quite know what it is, you can't really articulate it, but you can write music about it. And that's really what the goal is about all of this. The whole reason to present this to you is to stimulate you guys and to give you guys a little bit of inspiration to be creative. It's okay to feel emotions and to feel inspired by this, because that's the whole purpose. That's what takes you to the next level in terms of you building creativity. So those are our RPGs, Final Fantasy 7 and 8. How many musicians do we have here again? Let's raise our hands. Okay, so a good portion. All right, great. So you guys know all the orchestra instruments, but there's a group of you that don't. So let's take a moment. Let's take a little excerpt where it'll feature the strings and the woodwinds, okay? Let's listen to some of Pokemon. Did I forget someone in the woodwind family? Clarinet. So the moment I saw the clarinet, I knew there was somebody missing. So that's our woodwind and our string family, okay? Now, when you write, if you come to study at Miami-Dade College, you study music theory, and one of the first things you learn to do in music theory is write for choir. And, some students are like, I don't want to write for choir. I'm an instrumentalist or whatnot. But little do they know that all you do when you write for orchestra, full orchestra, you're just writing for 3 choirs. So when you learn the techniques of how to work the voice, you learn how to work the voices of the instruments as well. Anyway, moving on. We have our brass instruments. Brass instruments, we know those guys, right? Very popular in the orchestra. So, who's a brass instrument? Name one. Trumpet? All right, we have trumpets back there. Oh, Professor Osorio is here. Yes, thank you. You automatically think trumpet when you think brass. And we have a very special trumpet player, which is our distinguished faculty member, Professor Claudio Osorio, who is our trumpet professor here at the college. So if you're interested in looking for some classes if you come to Miami-Dade College, you definitely want to look for Professor Osorio. So let's give him a round of applause for being here and joining us. Also have the French horn. Just raise your... okay. So you guys know that song too. Okay. Let's keep moving. Let's play some more Pokemon. I think you're gonna know this. that's our orchestra. Of course, we have our choir in the back, and we've been listening to a lot of them. They do a lot. They've done a lot. So that's our. Oh wait, am I forgetting anybody? The what? The percussionist? Yes. And guess what I play? Yes, I am a percussionist. So why don't we try something different for this? Do you guys know Attack on Titan? Okay, I'll tell you what. I love that song. I think I want to play drums on it. Okay, so I'm going to go on the drum set. I'm going to need a conductor. Anybody want to try? No? Okay. Well, back there, I invited a good friend of mine. She is from Hong Kong. She's a conductor from the University of Miami. She's an artist diploma student at the University of Miami. She's my colleague there. So I asked her to come in and fill in for me while I get on the drum set. So welcome to the stage, Sophie Mock. All right. So I think we got everyone covered in the orchestra. I think we covered everybody now. Percussion, we have all our choirs, and now we're moving on. I think we should go back to the original. First game I ever played. What do you think it is? It's like, how old is he? That's the real question, right? Super Mario. Mario has a legacy, right? So many games. And before, when the first one came out, it was just the funnest thing in the world. And then the second one, then the third one. Next thing you know, there's Kart, there's so much, and they're all great. That's what's amazing. So, well, let's start with Mario first. Let's start with Super Mario Brothers, shall we? the original. I'm sorry. You can't beat the original. The original Mario is a classic. How many of you play Super Smash Brothers? Now, I didn't know that there were so many of them. How many of you like Melee? Brawl? Ultimate? One Hero 3? We have all three, actually. I'm not going to talk in between. We're going to go in that order. We'll start with Melee, then we'll do Brawl, and then we're going to go right into Ultimate. And each one is just a few minutes long. So we're going to give you now a trilogy of Super Smash Bros. You guys know that music? Yeah. Now, all that music, all 3 songs, you guys know it well? Did you? Okay. I'm still doing my study, like I said. So I'm still trying to find out what is really relevant, and it seems like everything we're doing is very relevant. Don't forget that in May of next year, we're going to be having our SharkCon here at Miami-Dade College, and that's going to be a huge event. There's going to be not just a concert. There's going to be games and anime and all sorts of stuff going on, just like any other con, but we're going to turn this whole campus into a Comic-Con, if you will. It's going to be called SharkCon. So be on the lookout for that message, because everyone is going to be invited for that. So moving on, we have one more legend to cover. That's the Legend of Zelda. So we have 2 works that we want to present. Everybody familiar with Wind Waker? Yes. What about Symphony of the Goddess? Do you guys know about that? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go straight through them. Nonetheless, we're going to be exploring this amazing game that was really the first game that had content that was this deep, that was like a true mythology. I remember that the beginning of every game, when I used to play the Nintendo, the original, just that opening, that music itself, there was nothing like it. I know it sounds cheesy if you listen to it now, but believe me, back then when we heard it, it was just Zelda. And what's amazing is it hasn't changed. Doesn't matter which game comes out, it always has iconic music. So Zelda is one of the games that I can honestly say that has developed a tradition for having epic music, music that you can't separate from the game, like we talked about in the beginning. So I don't want to talk anymore. This is going to be Wind Waker, and we will follow up with Symphony of the Goddess. So enjoy the beginning of The Legend of Zelda. guys recognize all that music? It's a lot of music, right? It's so much going on, just like the game. It's such a big game, and so, I mean, so many characters, so many emotions. It's amazing. So we're going to close our program now with Symphony of the Goddess. Just want to take a moment and say thank you to all of you for coming and sharing the day here with us here at MDC. It's been a pleasure having you. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you'll come again for more events. And most importantly, if you haven't thought about where to go to school yet, maybe you need 2 more years after you graduate to get to another university that you might want to apply for, come to Miami-Dade College. We have a great program here. If you want to compose, if you want to perform, you know, you don't have to be a music major to be in this ensemble. You can just be at Miami-Dade College and this ensemble is available to you. While you're in high school, as a matter of fact, if you want to compose, if you want to perform, if you want to do all these things, you are able to enroll in the Miami-Dade College Orchestra through dual enrollment. So you can actually enroll in this ensemble now while you're in high school. And get your GPA really high up because it's AP credits, right? AP credits for this, I mean, I would sign up. So thank you guys once again. I want to thank our department. Thank you, Chairman Quiroga, for allowing us to use the space. Thank you, Professor Osorio, for your amazing playing today. Thank you, Angel, Ariel from MDC-TV. There's so many people, all the hands up there. Phil Coladetti with the amazing job setting up all the technology. It's really, really a huge team. Thank you, team, for being outstanding as always, and thank you, audience, for joining us today. So we're going to close with this piece from Zelda, Symphony of the Goddess. Thank you.